When Lisa sat across from me that evening, her voice was calm, almost rehearsed. "I think we should break up," she said, her fingers tracing the rim of her coffee cup. I froze, though not because I didn't see it coming. For weeks, maybe months, something in her had shifted. The late replies, the distracted smiles, the excuses that never quite added up. They had all been signs pointing to this moment. But still, hearing it out loud twisted something deep inside me. I tried to keep my expression neutral as she continued. "You're amazing, really, but I just don't feel that spark anymore. I think we'd be better off as friends." She looked at me with those wide, almost sympathetic eyes, like she was offering me a consolation prize wrapped in pity. Friends. The word hit harder than the breakup itself. I had loved her, given her my time, my loyalty, my heart, and all I was worth in her eyes now was friendship, like some forgotten toy placed neatly back on the shelf. For a second, I considered arguing, pleading, asking her why, but then a strange calm settled over me. I forced a small smile, leaned back, and said, "Absolutely. Friends." My voice was steady, almost casual, and I saw the flicker of surprise cross her face. She'd expected tears, maybe anger, a scene to ease her guilt. Instead, I gave her acceptance, clean and simple. We finished our drinks in silence, her relief palpable as she walked me to the door. She hugged me lightly, whispered, "You'll always mean so much to me," and left me standing there, hollow but composed. She thought she had ended the chapter on her terms, that I would linger on the sidelines as the safe, dependable friend. But she didn't know me as well as she thought. Because while she believed she'd closed the book, I had just begun writing a new one. And the ending? That would be mine to decide. The first few weeks after the breakup, Lisa's texts trickled in like little reminders of the role she expected me to play. "Hey, hope you're doing okay, smiling face with smiling eyes. Or, miss talking to you, let's catch up soon." I kept my replies short, polite, and detached, just enough to keep her comfortable in her illusion. She believed I was still orbiting her world, ready to step back in whenever she wanted validation. Meanwhile, I focused on myself. I started hitting the gym more consistently, took extra projects at work, and spent time reconnecting with friends I had neglected during our relationship. Slowly, I felt the fog lift. My energy returned, and with it, a sharp clarity. I realized how much of myself I had bent and reshaped just to keep Lisa happy. The relationship hadn't been love. It had been survival under the weight of her constant need for attention. One evening, a mutual friend invited me to a birthday gathering. I debated going. Part of me didn't want to see Lisa so soon, but in the end I went. When I walked in, I noticed the surprise on her face immediately. She was there, dressed to impress, surrounded by people, but her eyes kept flicking toward me. And she noticed something else too. The way I carried myself, the ease with which I laughed, the attention I drew without even trying. I wasn't the man she had gently placed in the friend zone box. I was someone she no longer recognized, someone she suddenly seemed curious about again. She approached me later that night, her smile just a little too wide, her tone just a little too sweet. "You look different," she said, almost testing the waters. I smiled back, calm and confident. "I've been good. Really good." For the first time, it was her who stumbled over her words, trying to fill the silence I left hanging between us. That's when it hit me. She had expected me to be broken, to wait around as her backup option. Instead, I had flipped the script without even trying. Weeks turned into months, and Lisa's casual check-ins became more frequent, tinged with a subtle desperation she probably thought she hid well. "Remember when we used to go to that little Italian place? We should do that again." Or, "I miss our late-night talks. Things aren't the same without you." Each message carried the weight of regret, though she'd never admit it outright. By then, I wasn't the same man she had walked away from. I had built something sturdier, stronger, a version of myself that didn't rely on her approval to feel whole. I went on dates, explored new hobbies, even started planning a trip abroad. My life was no longer a shadow cast by hers. And the more she noticed, the more it seemed to gnaw at her. One afternoon, out of nowhere, Lisa showed up at the cafe where I was working on my laptop. She slid into the seat across from me with a nervous laugh. "You've been hard to reach," she said, trying to sound playful. I closed my laptop slowly and met her gaze. I've been busy, I replied. She shifted uncomfortably, twirling her straw in her drink, before blurting out. I think I made a mistake. The words hung in the air like smoke, heavy and undeniable. A few months ago, I would have given anything to hear them. But now, they didn't land the way she intended. Instead of warmth, I felt nothing but clarity. She hadn't realized my worth until she lost the comfort of having me at her side. I leaned back in my chair, calm and deliberate. Lisa, you said you wanted us to be friends. And I agreed. That's what we are now. Her face faltered, lips parting like she wanted to argue, but I didn't let her. I stood, gathered my things, and added, You wanted freedom, and I gave it to you. Don't be surprised that I found mine too. As I walked away, I didn't look back. She had ended things thinking she'd keep me tethered as her safe fallback. But by the time she realized her mistake, I was already gone.